Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Um, I've been meaning to do this for a while. I gave them a little shout out in the video before, but mainly this video is going to be predominantly about William Tyndale and Martin Luther King, and a little bit about Muhammad, because sometimes people take ancient men's words and they destroy them throughout history. And so, William Tyndale, I've been reading about his bio and stuff and what he did. And, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to ingest some information because once I receive certain information, it it affects me differently, I guess, than some others. Although maybe it does affect everybody the same, and we just hide it, or we just act differently, or maybe we feel shame, so we try to cover it up. But this man fought the Pope with all his heart. He fought with everything he had. So did Muhammad. These kingdoms were so corrupt. They were murdering entire towns, the Byzantine and stuff. And then when the Protestants did come forth, they became... Martin Luther then took William Tyndale's legacy and just started all types of theses and laws. William Tyndale literally said, learn from the scriptures and not other men. Like I've been telling people, and search the heart and learn for yourself. And then Martin Luther goes and writes all this buffoonery and creates the Protestant church. And then the 30 Years' War and the English start going wild with it. William Tyndale was a humanitarian trying to feed people and help people and teach not to be racist and all that stuff. And then Martin Luther creates the Protestants, and that dude was a racist. He hated Jews, blacks, all that stuff. And then he took everything that William Tyndale worked for and destroyed it. And then the man that had to come and fight the Protestants later, all that racism and Nazi bullcrap, Martin Luther King, this man had a dream that we would all love each other and be friends and love each other. And they blew his fucking head off, man. What the I don't... So, Martin Luther King, he was in the South fighting these people. They talking about Jesus and God, man. They have done the complete opposite. Murdering and enslaving people and taking people from lands. And in the very land they take people from, they call it evil. If Judaism, or if this was spreading throughout Africa at first, then of course they would have been in Ethiopia and the Congo and all these other places. Why do you think they dig up the pharaohs? Give me 1 second. And that's why they keep digging up Africa and all these scrolls. They keep saying the God of Shem is blessed, but they don't even realize a lot of these MLKs and Baals and stuff were spreading into Egypt and other places. And when people tried to fight it, these kings would overthrow them. Just like how in this day and age, when you don't bow to their kings or gods, the same thing Nebuchadnezzar did. They oppress and they destroy, and they, even if they're following the will of a lot of their gods, some of them are violence. And so William Tyndale and Martin Luther King are two beautiful people, man. And even Muhammad, he was fighting, because you guys will talk about Islam, but you don't realize there was no Islam on Muhammad's day. That was created afterwards. Just like people, if you're a Christian on screen arguing with a Muslim, talking about how corrupt Islam is and Muhammad, then that's the same thing as somebody going up to you and saying Jesus or all these other people are corrupt. And then you're like, no, I'm an apologetic for it. It's the same thing. The Pope was more violent, and the Germans and the English were more violent than any system ever. And while Islam has had its dwellings in pure murder and violence, you know a tree by its fruits. These people were trying to fight the Pope for years, so of course they had to be violent. Go research the Byzantine era. The Catholics, the Holy Roman Empire. You guys are waving a sword talking about Jesus. That's Yeho Sus. Sus came from Greece and Rome. You guys can talk about Jesus and then go say Catholics are blah, blah, blah. You're cooking a goat in its mother's milk. You're in the same thing. That's why I'm trying to draw from these waters and give people the real name. Even God, the word God is covering the name. And if William Tyndale wrote the Old Testament and the New Testament, that's how he knew the truth. And when he tried to give it, they murdered him. When Martin Luther King came on behalf of humanity, they murdered him. So yes, I am in Jerusalem, Patmos. I'm not going to go out here and put myself in the middle of the streets of murderers. I'm going to speak from the heart and let it rain down. And if anybody would like to listen, be baptized in the refinery while they play in the concepts of hell for another 1,000 years. Because I've read, you guys should, I'm going to link it at the end of this screen, but the prophecies that William Tyndale and Martin Luther King wrote, and the battling that Muhammad had to do to fight that institution of religion, y'all have no idea. If people would actually break away from this stuff and read and gain and learn from a humble perspective, then who I am can be built up and can learn and grow. I'm going to give you an algorithm. There is a garden or a book, whatever. So this book is something. You can liken it to a flood, a garden, ark, whatever. So first it's a garden, then it's a flood. Then there needs to be an ark to go over the flood. And so now we're following these different men over the flood of everything else, right? Now in the beginning it says, in the midst of this garden, do not eat of this tree or you will surely die. Now, if the whole garden is plagued and cursed, and even Jesus is saying it's plagued and cursed until he returns, then the tree in the middle of the garden is the 10 Commandments. Then once you get free and you're happy, then you do the will of the will of the self again. We're all Adam. It's our spirit that has been kicked out of the garden of who I am, not me personally, all of us. Every man that tries to come and tell the truth, first they get destroyed, then they play with their words and use them for themselves. Nebuchadnezzar talking to Dan and the 3 children. That's symbolic for Moses and the 3 books. The Torah, the Judges and Joshua, the prophets and Elijah, and John and the apostles in them. Each have 12 something. Because of Moses, there's 12 tribes. How do you know about the tribes? The Torah. Because of Joshua and the Judges, the tribes were brought back together because somebody in the wilderness was assigning a whole bunch of stuff and writing a whole bunch of law. And then Elijah came and brought the stones together and gave us fire, the prophets, and then John came and gave us the living waters. And the apostles testified on behalf of this. If that makes sense. Noah flooded the earth. Cain, the pharaohs, Narmers. Then when Mentuhotep, a man that came and tried to unify the kingdom, read their bios if you don't believe me, it all matches up, tried to do what's right, a whole nother nation of people came and tried to tear them off. The god of Shem. Really read this Bible and transliterate to what some of these names are saying. Then, when you pay attention even further, Japheth, now look what Rome and Greece did. And Moses has to draw from the rivers. Akhenaten, the Atenism, right, the 10 Commandments, has to battle through the wilderness. And then the fire that comes down and don't consume Elijah, so to speak, is what has to burn off all the bales on the flesh. And then Yehohanan, John, is like the living waters. You get it and learn how to be an I am. Does any of this make sense? You're not supposed to worship Jesus. You're not supposed to worship Allah and Elijah. You're not supposed to worship Joshua, Judah, and Hashem. It's I am who I am. I am sent me. I am the one who freed you from the land of Egypt. These different men are getting the prophecy, and when they try to help, people are destroying them because Aaron wrote anybody who comes on this mountain gets slaughtered. Noah put the fear and dread of the three sons. What is that symbolic for? Moses created something, or first civilization created something, but then men started conquering. Go read how Myanmar took over Egypt. I'm telling y'all, it's in the bios. And then after that, Aaron, right, the Hyksos, and then Hebrews appear. The Asiatic invaders, you guys keep saying the God of Shem is blessed. Then you talk about how Caucasians and Asians aren't our people, we're Israel. You guys, so then after the Asiatic invaders and Babylonians and people from the East, right, they keep saying the one from the East will come. Y'all, they're trying to, Nebuchadnezzar and Babylon took a hold of this stuff. So back to Aaron. Aaron wrote a whole bunch of buffoonery and put in algorithms to harden your heart over and over and over until the end of this 3,000 years. I'm telling you he is. Then when I try to bring down a wall of fire, people want to walk all back through the wilderness again. So who I am is putting a fucking wall of blue fire there now. Now you have to walk straight. So then, once we're coming out, what happens? Samuel and his kings, his legions of, so I'll give this in real time. Haramhub advised Tumakin to destroy his father's legacy, the Samuels. So then they created the first leg on the beast, Saul. But then that led to Ramses, the other leg, Goliath. So then you go later down the line, you have Amenemop and Sumeses, David and Solomon, who they tried to, because the God of Shem is blessed, right? Because it even says Nimrod came from Babylon, which is a rod, which is Pharaoh's rod and cane. So then once Myanmar spread all the way to Babylon, then all this Brahma and all this other stuff appears, and they give birth to the Lord Brahma, and all these gods appear everywhere. So back to the current lesson at hand. Now, you go later down the line, can't nobody do nothing because Ramses got a part of everything. Saul couldn't handle it, right? So then he lost everything. So now they're trying to beat people up with David and Solomon, right? Everybody's talking about the root of David, the root of David. That's Egyptian. Sunesis wrote them psalms and all that stuff and built the temple of Amun. New Am, right. Y'all are worshiping Egyptian gods, calling the Pharaoh in Egypt evil. Using the God of Shem. So then you go further down the line. What ends up happening? Babylon completely tries to consume and destroy all this stuff. So what happens? Then you have Nebuchadnezzar, Persia, and all these different kings, Greece and Rome. Then you have a man try to come stop all that. Because when Zoroaster came, Ezra, the Scarlet Prince, Ezra and Esther, Zoroaster came and reformed the Middle East, stopped all these Phoenicians from burning kids up and doing all this crazy stuff. Remember, an angel of mine said, "Thou shalt not kill." So then Isaac got to live. So he reformed all that stuff. If you read about Ahura Mazda, which transliterates to Yehuda Ma, I'm telling you it does. Or Yehuda Am. Sorry, I put that backwards. Trying to tell people. So then that's a continuation of Akhenaten, Yeshua, right? I am the salvation of YHV, Yehashu. Egyptian stuff. So then you go further down the line. Nebuchadnezzar and all them turned the prophets into pure murder. Remember, Dan was decked with scarlet and gold, just like the Ten Commandments. They put all these gods and stuff on there. Even the word God, which is a German word from Germanic paganism, Gudon, Guthis, Gud, Odin, and Thor to invoke power. So then you go further down the line. John the Baptist comes. That's why he said, "Elia, Elia, why have you forsaken me?" But he didn't. It's these nations turning poets into prophets of perdition. So then he takes the stake from that. Now they start worshiping a pagan god because Peter goes and teaches Rome everything. Judas hands the word over to the Greeks and Romans. Then Paul gets the word and I am who I am. And he just starts teaching everybody buffoonery. Paul teaches the crucifixion of the cross. So Paul is the one crucifying y'all through the Spirit. Peter's the one that went and rained down fire and doing all these miracles and magic and doing all this buffoonery. So Peter is the false prophet. And so is Paul. Rome and Greece. It's symbols for stuff. So then you go later down the line, the Romans tear off the world. Now everybody's saying the Lord Jesus is righteous. After it says Paul brought Titus and Barnabas, go look up who Barnabas is. A Greek god. And Titus is a Roman king. Like, are y'all... So then Titus gets the inkling to come back and destroy Jerusalem after Jehohanan is killed. Peter's the one walking around with John talking about, look at the Jesus. Man, if y'all don't stop playing with me, blessed is Muhammad, blessed is William Tyndale, and blessed is Martin Luther King. I seen in some websites, the Klan and other people was posting, they said Martin Luther King was a pedophile. I was like, holy fucking shit. Y'all just can't get enough. But then we'll call Black Lives Matter a terrorist organization. Y'all don't even... Real use yew trees is symbolic for something that's all year round. It's the circumcision of the heart. Jewish is racism. Because they're saying it's their holy nation, they're Israel, and then they're manipulating a bunch of people with a Bible and a Torah, pretending like the Torah isn't attached to the Christian Bible. JPEG. No, none of them was down in the Middle East or Africa during any of this time. And in the Middle East, after Africa spread the buffoonery, mean armor, started spreading it back. And now look what's going on. Those same people will go around saying, the prophet Jeremiah said, I'm going to separate y'all in bondage and keep you there and blah, 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 blah. The Lord God. I'm the one keeping you in bondage for blah, 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 blah. It's hilarious. I can't. And I try to show these things. People playing with the Bible, they'd be atheists talking about, oh, look at these books of Samuel and Moses and Job. You're perpetuating the word. All somebody has to do is mute you in the future and get the word. Or not only even that, to make it even funnier, y'all are the new preachers. You're doing what the revelation will burn her with fire. Atheism, attenism, 10 I ams. You guys are Joshua. You're the new judges if that's why you're burning it with fire. Okay, chill. So I don't want to freak people out too much. But what I'm saying is basically, you guys are all, it's about living life. The reason the beginning creation, this is where Adam messes up. The reason the beginning creation might not be perfect is because you go and tell everybody everything is good. And everything they do is good. And good and evil, I'm telling you. So everything needs reproved. You guys are calling wisdom the devil. Because if I see somebody slaying the firstborn of the flock, and I don't go stop that, what the fuck? Do that. But some people don't understand certain symbols and wisdom. I'm trying to tell y'all, because it might mean Narmer was trying to take away from, it might mean that Mentuhotep was trying to take away from Narmer's oppressive kingdom. But then some people might read that aren't in this day and age, and maybe it was 2,000-3,000 years ago, and started actually sacrificing the firstborns of flocks, which ain't fucking funny. So understand my nature. Life is life, and it comes together and creates the whole. So, if you got time, read up on William Tyndale, the humanitarian, and read up on Martin Luther King, the lovely librarian, who read about the humanitarian and got a beautiful prophecy and could finally see. And like I said, no longer will y'all destroy the land, because who I am is here in the land.
I was yours, you were mine, but it's time to say goodbye. Didn't know that the honeymoon's just a phase. Now I understand, I learned it firsthand with you. Thought it would last forever. Oh, you started to become blue. Oh, so I surrendered, 'cause I couldn't see things getting better. No, in the afternoon, did what I could do, now you're in my review. Yeah, oh. Hasn't always been this wrong or this bad, but after some time I realized you and I were in the match. You should have loved me better, should have loved me better, 'cause we might still be together before we split up. Always believed we would never, till the afternoon. That was when the moon started to become blue. Oh, so I surrendered, 'cause I couldn't see things getting better. No, in the afternoon, did what I could do, now you're in my review. Yeah, ooh, no turning back, so no, it wasn't all. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye. No turning back, no, it wasn't all. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye. No turning back, though we know it wasn't all. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye. No turning back, you know it wasn't all. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye. Feels like love, Cupid made a shot straight into my heart. Now I'm falling fast and my world's expanding. Feels like love, even though we're kinda nervous. Together we'll be strong. I don't know for sure, all I know, didn't know what hit me when we started. I was shaking electric, trying to stay calm and collected. On that summer afternoon, you were shining like a gem in the sunlight. We were out until midnight, yeah. You said, do you wanna go out sometime? I said, girl, you read my mind. Oh, yeah. Then came the rush of butterflies, trembling and building up from deep inside. Feels like love, Cupid made a shot straight into my heart. Now I'm falling fast and my world's expanding. Feels like love, even though we're kinda nervous. Together we'll be strong. I don't know for sure, all I know, this feels like the sweetest breath of air. Oh yeah, it's amazing. At the same time, how you take my breath away. Oh yeah, can't explain. Ooh. You said, do you wanna go out sometime? You don't have to tell me twice. Oh yeah. Then came the rush of butterflies, trembling and building up from deep inside. Feels like love, fast and my world's expanding. Feels like love, even though we're kinda nervous. Together we'll be strong. I don't know for sure, all I know, this love is blossoming between us in yellow and indigo. I'll hold it gently in my heart until it's taking over my body and soul. Feels like love, Cupid made a shot straight into my heart. Now I'm falling fast and my world's expanding. Feels like love, even though we're kinda nervous. Together we'll be strong. I don't know for sure, all I know, Cupid made a shot straight into my heart.